If you take one look at Lily Lovebraids and your first thought is, what on earth is that design? I completely understand. When you look at the pantheon of Poppy Playtime villains, they all have a very clear, digestible gimmick. Huggy Wuggy is the towering, unnatural predator. Mommy Longlegs is the elastic, twisted game show host. Catnap is the silent, hallucinogenic nightmare. You look at them, and your brain instantly understands the threat. Then you have Lily. At first glance, she looks out of place. She looks like a bizarre, over-the-top cartoon character that wandered into the wrong horror game. But if you walk away from Chapter 5 thinking Lily is just a messy, randomly generated monster, you are missing the most devastating narrative this franchise has ever constructed. Today, we are stripping away the plastic smile. We are not just looking at times what times Lily is, but times who times she is. We're going to dissect her biology, the agonizing truth behind her 410 days of isolation, the chilling reality of Experiment 1468, and the horrifying secret hiding inside her bedroom that recontextualizes her entire existence. By the end of this video, you won't just be terrified of Lily Lovebraids, you'll be heartbroken by her. Consider this your massive spoiler warning. Let's descend into the dollhouse. To understand Lily, we first have to understand the cage they built for her. Before you even lay eyes on her horrifying silhouette, the game sets the stage with her environment. Sweet Street is an absolute masterclass in environmental dissonance. On paper, it's a candy-colored, child-friendly utopia constructed right inside the cold, industrial bowels of the Playtime Co. factory. But it doesn't feel like a playground. It feels like a mockery. The entrance to this area guards a massive secret. After a grueling sequence involving stealth and power routing to bypass Huggy, you are met with a heavy purple door. Scrawled across this door is a chilling paraphrase of Dante's Inferno. Abandon all hope, you who smile here. This is the ultimate thesis statement for Lily Lovebraids. Every other monster in the factory wants to rip you apart in the dark. Lily wants you to smile while she does it. Her entire brand is built around slumber parties, doing each other's hair, sharing tea, and giggling about crushes. It is aggressively, almost suffocatingly cute. But as you wander deeper into Sweet Street, you realize that this cutesy persona isn't a trap designed to trick you. It's a coping mechanism designed to trick Times herself. The true horror of Lily's lore doesn't start with a jump scare. It starts with a piece of paper. Early on, you uncover a status report detailing a period of 410 days of continuous, unbroken isolation. Let that number sink in. Over a year of absolute solitude. This document doesn't read like a standard scientific observation. It reads like a vengeful decree. The author of this file states that the subject was provided only the absolute bare minimum required for biological survival, water, basic sustenance, nothing else. Furthermore, the document uses incredibly demeaning language. It describes the subject as naive, childish, ignorant of her own crimes. This tells us something vital about the hierarchy of the factory. Lily is not times a commanding officer in the prototype's army. She isn't respected. She is viewed as a pathetic, broken nuisance. The document explicitly states she will never be permitted to join us, but more terrifyingly, she is denied the mercy of a quick death. Whoever is running the show doesn't just want Lily neutralized. They want her to suffer. She was thrown into the candy-colored purgatory of Sweet Street to rot in her own mind. How does a mind survive over a year of solitary confinement in a mock-up children's town? It fractures. One of the most unnerving things you'll witness in this chapter is Lily's constant, one-sided conversations with a disembodied candy cat head. She treats this inanimate, plastic prop as if it were a living, breathing confidant. At first, it comes off as a quirky, unhinged villain trope, but the longer you watch her, the sadder it becomes. She talks to it when she's calm, she mutters to it when she's furious. She consults it while she's actively hunting you down. The candy cat head represents the only thing Lily has left: control. It is a friend that cannot abandon her, cannot judge her, and, most importantly, cannot punish her. It highlights the deeply regressive, childlike mental state she has been forced into. The factory called her childish as an insult, but her childishness is actually a trauma response, a desperate retreat into the innocence of a slumber party because the reality of her existence is too much to bear. If you thought Lily's mental state was torture, wait until you learn about her physical body. Deep in the facility, you find the design schematics for Experiment 1468. This document removes any illusion that Lily is just a weird toy. She is a biological weapon, and the methodology behind her creation is sickening. Originally, the researchers proposed creating her hair out of interwoven finger bones and muscle tissue. They eventually pivoted to a mix of high-tensile horsehair, artificial bone scaffolding, and synthetic biological matter. But here is where Experiment 1468 crosses the line from unethical to outright demonic. Neural integration and capillary extraction. Lily's hair isn't a cosmetic attachment. Her brain is hardwired into every single strand. She moves the braids exactly the way you move your arms and fingers. When she reaches out from the darkness to grab you, she isn't using a tool, she is stretching out dozens of prehensile, hyperflexible limbs. And because the scientists extracted capillaries into the hair to maintain pain responses, Lily can feel it. Every scrape, every pull, every time she uses her hair as a weapon to drag a heavy object or block a door, her nervous system registers the sensation. They built a monster with a dozen extra limbs and made sure she could feel the agony in every single one of them. Combine this agonizing physical existence with 410 days of isolation, and it is a miracle she has any grip on reality left at all. So, who was Lily before she was stuffed into this body of bone and hair? The answer lies in 2 audio cassettes that piece together the most heartbreaking timeline in the franchise. In this recording, we hear a bizarre, deeply unsettling therapy session. A calm, overly friendly, institutional voice is speaking to Lily. Lily is panicking. You can hear the raw, human terror in her voice as she realizes her hands are made of plastic and her face is completely wrong. She is experiencing body dysmorphia on a monstrous scale. But the voice doesn't comfort her. It conditions her. It calmly insists, "You are a toy. You have always been a toy. This is live, active brainwashing." And you actually hear the brainwashing work in real time. Lily's panicked, grounded voice suddenly glitches, snapping into the high-pitched, bubbly persona of Lily Lovebraids, rambling about crumpets and sleepovers. The second tape places us squarely in the events of the Hour of Joy, the mass slaughter event at the factory. We hear a woman desperately barricaded behind a door while chaos reigns outside. She is begging the monsters, screaming that she just wanted to help, that she just wanted to spread wellness. The monsters break in, but they don't kill her. Instead, a chilling voice tells her, "We're not going to hurt you. We have something special planned." The woman on this tape and the calm voice from the first tape belong to the exact same person, Miss Gracie, the Playtime co-wellness and integration counselor. Let's look at the timeline. The proposal for Experiment 1468 is dated August 6, 1995. The Hour of Joy, the day the factory fell, occurred on August 8, 1995. This 2-day window is the key to Lily's madness. Because she was created exactly as the factory's infrastructure collapsed, the psychological conditioning, the brainwashing meant to wipe the human mind and replace it with the toy persona was never completed. This is why her mind is fractured. There are 2 entities fighting for the steering wheel of Experiment 1468. 1. Miss Gracie, the terrified, ashamed, desperate human woman who remembers who she used to be. 2. Lily Lovebraids, the manufactured bubbly toy persona programmed to obsess over slumber parties. You can find manic scribbles in the environment that perfectly illustrate this split. One note panics. "Why does everyone hate me?" He still doesn't come. Directly beneath it, another line calmly instructs, "Big breath in, into your belly, and out. Cover up the hole. Don't let him see the mess." It's the wellness counselor trying to therapeutically calm down the terrified child living inside the exact same brain. This internal conflict bleeds into her physical actions. When you wake up inside her massive dollhouse, She treats you like an honored guest. She asks you to gather friends and fetch crumpets from the basement. But when you go to the basement, the illusion shatters. She isn't storing toys down there. She is storing Poppy and Kissy Missy. They are heavily damaged, battered, and locked in a cell. Lily is holding actual, living hostages inside her fantasy world. She forces you to play games to set up the perfect dinner table. But why? If you sneak into the vents, you overhear her true motivation. She is waiting for a special guest. She believes that if she throws the perfect party, if everything is clean and everyone smiles, the special guest will forgive her and take her away to a better place. She is a desperate child trying to earn the love of an abusive parent, and we all know who that parent is. If there was any lingering doubt about Lily's true identity, the game obliterates it with a hidden room found late in the chapter. Inside Lily's bedroom, hidden within a massive heart-shaped structure, is a bed. Lying in that bed is a human skeleton, surrounded by Playtime Co. Plushies, Huggy, Bobby Bear Hug, Kickin' Chicken. It looks like a morbid shrine. When you approach the skeleton, you find a Playtime Company ID card. Name, Gracie Green. Title, Wellness and Integration Counselor. Attached to the ID is a cruel, mocking note stating that for her, death was seen as too generous. This is the smoking gun. The monsters didn't just kill Miss Gracie. They dragged her down, stripped her of her humanity, fused her nervous system into a monstrosity of synthetic bone and hair, and locked her in a dollhouse for 410 days to rot. The counselor, whose job was to enforce mandatory joy and wellness on the factory workers, was cursed to live as a parody of forced happiness forever. Lily's gameplay mechanics perfectly reflect her past life as a counselor. Counselors don't rely on brute force. They rely on behavioral control. During her boss sequence, Lily doesn't just chase you. She initiates a deadly game of red light, green light. When she sings, you are allowed to move. When she stops, you must freeze. You must walk exactly on the designated path. If you step out of line, her hair limbs snap your neck instantly. She is forcing you to perform. In her fractured mind, you aren't a victim. You are a misbehaving guest, ruining her perfect party. Her rage is the rage of an authority figure losing control of her classroom. The climax of the chapter is a masterclass in psychological devastation. Lily finally gets her wish. The dinner table is set, Poppy and Kissy are there, and the special guest arrives. The prototype. Lily immediately drops her bossy persona. She shrinks down. She acts like a terrified, eager-to-please child. But the prototype doesn't care about her party. He doesn't view her as a partner. To him, she is nothing but an insect. Without saying a word, the prototype casually reaches out and stabs the candy cat head right out of Lily's hair, destroying it. He didn't just break a toy. He destroyed the only coping mechanism she had left. He destroyed her anchor to sanity. And just to drive the point home, he immediately turns and violently crushes Poppy's head. The party is over. The illusion is dead, and Lily snaps. The ensuing chase across the rooftops isn't the calculated hunt of a predator. It is a full-blown, emotional tantrum. She screams at you for ruining everything, operating on the twisted logic of a child. I gave you a party, so you owe me your life. Eventually, the chase leads to the clouds, where the architecture of the dollhouse gives way to pure, dreamlike absurdity. Lily plummets and is ultimately crushed by the very environment she tried to control. Just as you think it's over, the game leaves you with one final, haunting cutout message. Did you know your hair keeps growing even after you die? In the real world, this is a myth based on skin retracting from the follicle. But in the world of Poppy Playtime, where Lily's hair is a living, nervous system connected weapon, it implies something terrifying. Her body might be crushed, but experiment 1468 might not be entirely dead. So, who is Lily Lovebraids? She is Gracie Green, a woman punished for her corporate complicity with a fate infinitely worse than death. She is a biological nightmare, trapped between the memories of a wellness counselor and the forced programming of a bubbly toy. She is a victim of 410 days of sensory deprivation, clinging to a plastic cat head to keep from drowning in her own mind. Lily Lovebraids is what happens when the concept of joy is weaponized. She isn't just the darkest character in Poppy Playtime. She is a mirror held up to the entire twisted philosophy of the factory itself. What do you think of Lily's tragic backstory? Would you like me to analyze the psychological profiles of any other characters from the Playtime Co. factory next?